Hi, my name is Victor Bart and welcome to my Unimog 4.4 camper build. And in this video we're gonna take out this big panel because it still needs to be insulated, and I use Armaflex for that. The rest of the box is already done with the insulation and it's ready to be varnished, so it gets a really awesome color. And I have this panel that goes there, and I will install it in a moment. And that panel, because there in the corner there will be the batteries and the electrical installation. I put 12mm Armaflex under the battery compartment because the cold can't come in from the bottom into the batteries and freeze them. This piece has two functions. First of all, you can screw components into the wall because this is 9mm wood. And this latch is to hold up the bed, so the bed will be on top of here, and also there will be here a wall, and a complete cabinet will be here filled with electronic stuff, mostly Victron stuff. This cable spaghetti is for the LED lights that I'm gonna install in the ceiling here, and this is just a multi-cable for trailers. And it goes to here, and it has 13 cables. So I will have sections of LED lights and RGB lights and stuff like that. Because here we have red, blue and green, so we have RGB colors in the wires. I use Armaflex insulation in 6mm and 19mm. So the walls are mostly 19mm. Here under this floor plate I just stacked two 6mm to get the 12mm, and it is super easy to work with. And the way how I use it is way different than most people. But first of all, let's show you what Armaflex is and can do. It is an insulation material with one side sticky. It's flexible, you can put it in a corner, you can cut it with scissors, knives. It doesn't leave any mess, and it works really easy. You can put in tight corners, and yeah, I like it. And the sticky side is super strong. And this is the 19mm version. And what also nice is that if you press it down, it compresses. You can stretch it, you can push it together. So to get it fit, it's super easy to work with. But I see a lot of people also hating Armaflex, but I like it, and it is not super cheap but also not too expensive. And the way how I use it is completely different. Here I have a smaller panel, and I just sticked it on the back of this Okume wooden panel, and I put some plastic layer in between here as a moisture layer, and I made wooden ribbons all around the box to screw it down. So I have a box in a box concept. I didn't put the Armaflex directly on the metal and just stick it everywhere. I just made walls where the Armaflex is on, so I lose a little bit of sideways space, but I still have, like now, from corner to corner 192 centimeters for the bed. So this is a wider box than a fan, and for me this works really good. And now the outer layer is just clear of any stuff stick to it, and I put really good rust protection on it. So I think for my box this is the better solution. But make your own plans, don't follow one person, because there are many options and many ways to go. And if you want to have really good information about this topic, about the framing and walls and insulation, you can check out the bus builder Chuck Cassidy on YouTube. He has some really nice detailed videos with really good information. So check him out, links will be in the description. The wood that I'm using is Okume, and if you varnish it, look at what kind of amazing color comes out of it. And that's why I choose Okume. And also this is like a high quality plywood of 6mm on the walls, and if there's any moisture on it, it won't destroy the glue that is in between the layers. And if you take a burst ply, the glue is not waterproof inside of the layers. So you can have that if your walls get wet, it just separates because the glue dissolves. Take note of that when you're buying wood, that you buy the right wood for what you do. With the panel down, you have a good look on the wooden framing here. I put some pipes here for like 12 volt systems and the solar cable and electric cables for the inverter and the wall connection. But the cables for 230 volt, you need to separate them from the 12 volt cables so it doesn't interfere with each other. So that's why those pipes have different routes. And also you see the pipe here that goes to the multi-cable on top of here. It's time to put the Armaflex back on the panel, and I put lines here all around where I don't want to have Armaflex. And I put this wooden piece here to screw it to the framing and use it as a spacer. And I will put some more blocks in, but I will do that later and just cut out the Armaflex where I want to have it. But this is the big piece. Also that the wall is nice and sturdy and doesn't flex. Armaflex on the panel is done. Let's modify it a little bit, then test fit it, then take it out again and put the spacer blocks in. The extra spacer blocks are in, just with short screws for now, and if I install the panel I will replace them with longer screws and screw them to the framing of the Unimog shelf. My Unimog is pretty solid. It's a 20mm wood floor, only it's super ugly. It's worn out, there's a bump here, so yeah, I need to do something about it. But let's first remove this bump. And I have this hand plane from my grandfather. He was his whole life furniture maker. So yeah, let's remove some material here. That's much better, the bump is gone, and actually it's quite nice wood that's under this super ugly top layer, and I need to do it more to here, because here's also a little edge, and my toilet is going to be here, and it was already sitting on this, otherwise it would be unstable. This gray color is RAL 7005, and my plan is to paint everything under the bed, all the boxes and the drawers and the electric system here, this kind of color, and it looks really good together with the blue. Can someone explain why this is a different blue color than this Victron product? Why Victron? What went wrong? and it's not the light, because if I switch them, it's still the same color, that this one is darker. But it looks amazing on the grey background. I'm gonna do something about the rear floor, because I decided to paint it. And I'm gonna paint the electrical compartment and this rear wall up to here and where I sit now. So yeah, let's get started. And because it's pretty cold in the workshop, I have this 3 kilowatt space heater to warm things up, and it's getting really toasty already in the Unimog with the doors open. I'm really happy with this result. This is much better than the worn out floor. So let's remove the tape before it will stick to the floor permanently. And this line is where the bed ends, and this white piece is like the size of the mattress to see how big it is, to make measurements. So this is an important piece to build the whole rear section, because under the bed I will have storage, drawers, the electrical system. So I need to make sure it's strong enough to put the bed on top and just make it work. And the grey base now looks amazing already. I made this wooden frame to keep the water tank in place, and it has several functions. First of all, to secure the water tank to my Unimog. Also a very strong front, so to keep it from moving forward, and I put straps over it. On the bottom I put a 12mm Armaflex to prevent the water tank from freezing. And another function is, if there's a leak, it will flow out of here, and then there's a hole in the floor and out of the Unimog, instead of flooding the whole Unimog. I think that's an important function to have. And I will install the water tank so I can also still take it out. And that's also why I just made a frame to put it in with straps, instead of putting it somewhere and then building the rest around it. I have a 130 liter water tank. Here's the inspection hole, the tank meter that I installed, the fill connection that's 38mm. Here's the air vent and the overflow, and here's the connection to my water pump. And to install it is super simple with this frame, because you can just slide it in like this, and it's already fixed in place. And I'm gonna make some blocks here with hooks to put straps over it. And the fill point of this water tank is here in the roof. Yeah, I fill my water tank through the roof, and not with rainwater. The connection to the pump is now in this corner, and the air vent is here. So I'm gonna put a hose between here and then a hose here to the pump. And yeah, I like the placing of the water tank. If you have an extended rear on an Unimog like this, you can overload your rear axle pretty easy to put way too much weight on it. So I put all the weight that I can forward, so I will try to keep a 50-50 weight ratio. It was a lot of work, but the walls are finally in. They are insulated, the windows are cut out, the cables are behind it, the water tank is in his place, the rear is looking now great with the grey, so I can do the electrical installation soon, because that's one of my priorities. And my other priority is varnishing the walls, but I just need to take a piece of sandpaper And first just inspect all the panels and get rid of the stains like here, and just slightly scuff it up and clean it up, and then varnish it like 2 times, and then this box will look so amazing. The color will be insane. And for the roof I already have some panels. They are now in the wood workshop of my uncle. The panels are 40 years old. My grandfather bought them one time and never used them, so they will go in my Unimog. And I gonna paint the ceiling blue, and in the ceiling I will make LED strips and RGB strips, and it will be amazing. But I need to wait a few weeks because my brother is now abroad for his work, and after that we will work on it because he is into the light strips for his work and for his hobby. So it will be amazing what we will put in here, but that needs to wait. If you like to support my build, you can check out my Ko-fi page or make a PayPal donation or use my Amazon affiliated links. And thanks for watching.